Hey John,
Hey, all right. What have you been up to today?
I was picked up at 7:30 in the morning and went for a run in the foothills with
Oh,
an old friend of mine, Vincent Walstra, sales extraordinaire. And we had a good run and him and Justin just kicked my ass. They ended up just kind of dusting me.
yeah.
And I slogged it through the whole run myself. It was about 8 miles with like a good amount of vertical. It goes up a ridge down into a creek and stuff. And I haven't like moved my butt out of this seat. And I've been in absolute monk mode, so it was sorely needed. And yeah, feeling alive.
Are you
Took
typically a runner?
no, I hate running.
Okay.
I do like trail running because
Yeah.
it's like free and creative, but like yeah, today was painful.
Did
So
you like run when you were in high school or?
no, never. I never.
Okay.
The one sport I'm good at is like, well, I like skiing, snowboarding, surfing. Like they're kind of like solo sports. The one like kind of like team sport I'm pretty good at is like ice hockey and roller hockey. That for some
Oh,
reason
really?
that's just like for some reason I'm good at that. But like that's I would always go to like roller hockey camps in the summer and stuff. So
Yeah.
yeah, but yeah, no. I don't have the sports gene in me, I guess. Like but yeah, it's also just feels like I never have time and that's just a story I tell myself, I guess. But mostly my sport is just hanging with my kids. They keep me pretty busy. Um
You have three or four?
four, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, four.
Yeah. And they're going to be on the show soon, I'm sure, in Hong Kong. It's gonna be unavoidable. So it
That's awesome.
should be fun. Um, yeah, so yeah, had a good run. Computer's been cooking away. BitterClip, I'm trying to work on just making the diarization even better, like how speaker profiles can get merged, and just trying to make that like something Steve Jobs would be like not yelling at me for, you know? Like that's how I that's I think that was part of like the long horizon prompt I had there, which is like, okay, the ask was very simple. Like the current system is like it works, but it looks like like a diagnostics dashboard. Like there's just so many factors and options of how you might merge it and accept evidence or reject evidence and stuff. And it's like, no, make this all go away. It should just work as well as possible, and the user should have the ability to correct it if it's not right. And ideally, you like learn from that, and it happens less and less. Like that's basically it. And like Steve Jobs, like constantly do like adversarial review where Steve Jobs is like making sure it's good enough, basically, you know? Like and that ended up I think it might still be running. It's been running for like 20 hours. So it's clearly very hard. And I've been trying to push it and push it. And it's like still not good enough. So interesting. So it's an interesting problem to solve, and I think really important. And I did also have one Along Horizon run cooking because I was hoping to join your meeting this morning with Scott.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was kind of thinking we were looking at some domain names, and I may have bought puddingwagon.com. So I can share what the result is if you like. That was yeah. It was, I
That's
couldn't
cool.
help myself. I figured for $10, like because usually like those .com names, like when it's like a real like good name,
Hmm.
it's like usually not available. Oh, and hold on, let me finish my little shit post here. So Laura Yao says, actually, this is kind of cool. These guys, they're like, it's like I guess like five VCs, and it's like a small fund, like $15 million or something,
Hmm.
and they're like investing in the companies and they're coding with them. So it's kind of like
Hmm.
bitter in a way, where it's like it's a venture studio, but they're like hands-on, rolling up their sleeves, reaching into the machine with the oil and like pulling out the bolts and being like, "Here, what are you guys doing?" Like,
Hmm.
which I love, like that.
Yeah.
There's that famous. I never read the book. Ronnie told me about this in the Toyota method,
Yeah.
where like the CEO like walks the floor, and then in the Toyota method they stop the factory when a machine is broken because it
Hmm.
avoids like pileups from happening, which is an even bigger problem, right?
Hmm.
And everyone's like doesn't know what to do, and I guess the CEO like walks the floor in his like business suit. He like looks at the machine and like rolls up his suit and like reaches in there and like pulls out a bolt, and then it's like here you go, like start it up, and he just had that. He's in the kitchen, he's cooking,
Yeah.
and like and
Yeah.
everyone like rallies behind him. And so I think it's really powerful. Super interesting. I told them I invited them, like I think one of the partners to like come on the show because would be really cool to talk to them. No
That's cool.
response yet. But anyways, I saw this. He said, what would Datadog look like if it were built in 26? I say it would look like BitterLog, which joins agent runs, get activity, and runtime telemetry with and gives you deep vector. Oh, not even you, and gives your
Hmm.
agent deep vector search on that and is optimized around a CLI tuned for your agent's ergonomics. No UI or dashboards required. Yeah. I don't know. I just see these things and I just engage now. I used to just be such a lurker, and now when I open the feed, I'm like, well, I only have a few minutes. Like whatever it is, I'm just gonna engage. Like
That's
it's
definitely the way to do it.
you know,
Throw
and
I forget who said this, but it's like throw it out there like it is a message in a group text.
yeah, you're just like
Yeah.
yeah. So sorry. Anyways, I'm having fun with that. Oh, and also, I'm really angry at like this this trash from Y Combinator. Like what the fuck, you guys? Have you seen this?
Oh, you did a long post here?
Have you seen this thing, Paxel? This is absurd. Okay, look, dude,
Yeah.
I don't even want to play it. It's disgusting.
I
So,
haven't watched the video. So
dude,
they want you to they have an agent or they have something that monitors
no,
your input.
I
You're
haven't.
like
My understanding is
you said.
you download Paxel.
Mhm.
Paxel spins up probably with your codex or your Claude, and you tell how many repos do you want to scan? All of them? One repo? Yeah, sure, do all of them. It's more, and
Mhm.
then it distills. Looks at all your agent logs, kind of like what like BitterLog does, but except BitterLog runs locally, not fucking stealing your shit. And
Yeah.
then it says, look, analyze all the user messages, distill them down, and just slurp everything up to Y Combinator so that they can analyze how like of much of a AI Jedi you are and potentially give you better odds at accepting you. It's like this cheap promise and just give us all your IP. And what I'm saying is like, dude, like and his he makes it sound like it's so uh, benign. Oh, don't worry. He keeps saying we won't upload any of your code, blah blah blah. It's like, dude, the code doesn't matter. Like the code is exhaust. Your user messages are your core IP. Like the code results from your user messages. And yeah, I just think this is incredibly misleading and an absolute stain on their reputation. And maybe I'm just bitter because I got my rejection from Y Combinator yesterday. But I think it's not just that. Like I think there's other people responding to this being like, this is just like spyware. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And I fully agree. And my point is like that, as Richard Sutton says, today's AI can make things that are good and they can make things that are novel, but never both. And it's your user messages combined with AI that enable collaboratively producing good and novel. Don't let anyone strip mine that for a cheap promise.
Hmm.
It's like, fix this shit, Gary. What the fuck, man? This is absurd. Like, make it run completely locally, maybe, and then maybe have a egress policy where it's like, okay, I've distilled it down to a document and I consent to sending this distillation, not like I don't know what it does. And maybe that's how it works. Maybe you can respond and correct me and I'll take it back. But at the surface of it, it looks like way too invasive and yeah,
Hmm.
I don't think it's cool. I think that people really put their hopes and dreams on Y Combinator and this is like it's an abuse of it in my from my perspective.
Yep. Good. I'm glad you posted about it.
Yeah.
I'll look at it more. I saw the website last night, but
Yeah, I was even thinking
I
like
didn't watch the video even or read it.
I was so angry when I saw this, and I was like, this morning I went for the run, and then kind of like relaxing. I'm like, wait, like I saw it again. I'm like, no, like I was about to like click boost and be like, I'm gonna spend $1,000 on boosting this. Like, this is I'm so fucking mad about it. And but then you can't boost someone when you're commenting someone. So maybe I will do
Mhm.
like an actual teardown with a nice teardown of what this is, more informed, and also provide an alternative. Like, hey, here's a prompt you can give with your codex. Tell it to turn on slash goal and do this for yourself if you're curious. And if you want to attach it to your Y Combinator in your other box or something, do that. But like,
I guess it needs a comparison to see like where you might stand. How could you get the data anonymously get the data in order to compare yourself to others?
well, dude, like,
There's some.
it's just not about comparing yourself to, but yeah, I mean, I don't think they even give you that. It's more just, oh, thank you for your input. Like maybe we'll give you better odds. Like what? And I don't think they even give you that. Maybe they do, but what does it matter? Like first off, Claude has slash insights, which does this natively in Claude. And yeah, you structure a prompt yourself. It's not hard. All your sessions are indexed in the hidden folder .codex.claude and it's all there. I've got 15, 20 gigabytes of session logs on this computer alone. And you can write a little parser to pull out user messages, or you can download the Bitter CLI or make your own. It's not hard. And or just boot up a Codex or a Cloud and ask them to do this. Be like, look at all my user messages in my entire transcript. Don't stop until you're done. Keep a journal, annotate it, distill it down over and over and over, and show me the tip of that distillation pyramid. And give it some criteria about what to look for, what kind of stuff about your workflow, your business insights, whatever it might be, that you're in control of what insights you want to pluck out of it rather than, th this is just some vanilla harness that's geared towards, I guess, what why Combinator thinks has Signal. I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's great. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of a lopsided exchange there. And that's what pissed me off. And I was like, anyways.
Yeah.
Again,
But I guess the code for that is not in Claw, or it's not in GitHub.
I haven't looked.
Okay.
It may be.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I might actually do a
Cool.
teardown this where I won't tag them, and I might maybe I will boost it. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's a guerrilla marketing tactic, and I'm just exploiting that. But I'm fucking pissed about it. Like so, okay, just use the anger. Like yeah, don't let it go to waste.
Yeah.
Um, anyways, because yeah, a lot of people feel the same way. Let's see. I wanted to show you Pudding Wagon because it's just fun, and then we can look at the prompt that generated it. Okay. Run. And so I basically ask it, I had it run a loop. And it said, do at least, it was a Claude. So with Claude, you have to be a little more explicit. And I was like, hey, I want you to do at least 21 like round robins and basically think about this sort of porta potty sanitation fleet management business, what the pain points the operators have, what pain points their customers have, and also what pain points like the employees have who have to actually do the operations, and just keep like thinking about that. Use sub agents to kind of role play, distill it back, then like do a pass on the copy, on the homepage, on the product offering to try to address that. And it just kept like sanding that and doing that. And this morning, I haven't actually, it's the first time I've kind of looked at it. So
Yeah.
besides like popping it open, so we can kind of take a look at that. But okay. Um, and the fun part is I just thought the .com was really good. And so yeah, I bought that. But then there was a very explicit instruction, which was like, it needs to be completely deadpan. Like the pudding man's not a joke. Like it is a serious business, and there can be no hint of any kind of jokes or anything in here. Like this is a serious industrial product. And so run the operation, bill every finished service. Pudding Wagon keeps every unit contract route, service, and invoice in one system. Your crews finish, the work your crews finish is the work you actually charge for. No unit sits forgotten on a closed site. Okay, I don't know. It would be cool to see if like Scott gets some reaction. He's like, no, this is like total slop, or yeah, this actually makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I have no way to really evaluate it, right? And then okay, so
Right.
it gives you like a little app screen, a little mobile app. Okay, what's happening today? Sort of like this is sort of your like called your prioritized sort of information log. Maybe there's a unit, a dispatch, and a billing thing, that kind of simple little app. Here we've got a wagon. This used to live on a whiteboard, a spreadsheet, and one dispatcher's memory. Now every unit has a record. So this guy has a lot of units, 312 units, 47 stops today, and six routes. Hmm.
Yeah,
One
there's
record.
the
Go ahead.
difference between selling to a mom and pop shop or like somebody with one kind of works in one city versus selling to like a PE backed company that has, you know, 30 cities or something like that.
Mhm. One record from yard count to paid invoice. Um, so here it's just kind of saying like it, keeps like a join through all this kind of messy stuff that happens, kind of keep things organized, service proofs. Drivers close each stop with a photo the system checks and location confirms. Um, recurring rentals, extra service become invoices. So like if there's up charges or whatever, or you need a refund, it's all kind of processed in there. And lots of reporting, of course, what's overdue, unbilled, unpaid. So, a lot of this kind of hygiene stuff, in terms of like, accounting. Owners, drivers, and customers work from the same record. So like everyone has an app with their view where they see the same information presented to them, is kind of the um,
Sounds like, yep,
idea.
yep.
And and then like a little screen of like, okay, like how like the actual like field operatives like do their verifications of like when they've cleaned something, and just like basically like a one tap thing, visual analysis, Gemini visual analysis. Yes, maybe there's 10 checkboxes, there's a fresh roll and everything's clean, the blue juice is in there, whatever it might be, right?
Hmm.
And then yeah, you can get early access. Just let us know how many units, what region, what's
Hmm.
your biggest headache.
Yep,
Um, that's Pudding Wagon.
yep. That's fun.
Yeah. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
those are my shares for today.
Nice. Um, yeah, I hung out with Scott for 4 hours today this, talking about his industry and kind of opportunities within it. Uh, Probably not stuff I want to talk about
Sure.
since it's all secrets.
Yeah.
And those are the things that allow you to
Yeah.
build things that others can't.
Yes.
Mm, but it's a really interesting conversation. Maybe the most interesting thing that came out of it that we could talk about is that the the SaaS apocalypse or the cost of software going to zero.
Hmm.
And maybe that's overblown, and
Sure. Of
obviously we're
course.
all going to still want software, but it is directionally accurate for
Yeah.
sure. And
Like the no,
it's just gonna get cheaper and cheaper.
yeah. Like the cost of BitterClip is not zero. I feel like I'm destroying my body working like 16-hour days to kind of like birth
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
And it's not zero, and I'm consuming a lot of inference, but it's certainly orders of magnitude less than
Right.
it would have been, and likely to keep trending that way
Yep.
aggressively. Hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, so maybe the biggest realization was like maybe there's an opportunity to do things where the software free or near free great software is a Trojan horse into an
Mhm.
industry,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then you use that as a means to become a system of record for that industry,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then you can offer additional services on top of that. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, it's getting
it
any kind of distribution, right? You just put out little utilities and stuff.
hmm
Yeah, that was something that I was considering doing with a job timer, my little time tracking app.
hmm
Can share that if you want. We'll go from putting Wagon to job timer. So Job Timer is like in my iOS app I've got and a web app. And it's about like just capturing hours for like ad hoc work basically. And it has some geofencing, so like people can clock in and out. If you want to geofence it, you can. And it has like receipt capture. So, like this is like someone helping you like do some remodeling or stuff. They're going to Home Depot, receipts, like it just solves all that hour, like how many hours they're spending and what their expenses are, and like makes it easy.
yep,
And these systems are usually kind of complicated, and I just want something really simple, build it myself, and try to get an iOS app was my first one, so it was kind of a good experience. Um,
that's cool.
but what was I getting at with that? Um,
That you were trying to incept the market.
oh yeah, that's right. So like I haven't done any marketing for this. I've just published it and it's in the App Store. But again, I just let it sit because I just felt like I never had time to do this kind of go-to-market stuff
Yeah.
while I was employed. And one thing I thought there was having a utility that's like purely a beacon, that's purely web-based. You don't need to sign up, where you just like it generates a URL and you can click like I want to geofence this, and here's like a link that's unguessable you can share with someone, and literally they can go to that location, like clock in and out. And if you want to have like geo, even that works in like in a browser, on like a phone and stuff. And that's just like okay, you just have a beacon. It's basically free. It keeps like a little log, and then but if you want to like import it into the system, you can create an account, and you've got a little free account. And their Job Timer does have a free account. But this would be like you don't even need an account, but you get the whole experience of like a beacon with like a clock in button that's unique to an individual and some kind of proof that they actually went there and did it. Um, so it's kind of interesting. But that's kind of like a little bit in that same vein of like you can create these little micro utilities that could potentially be useful.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
yeah. What like yeah. I think that makes sense. I think the hard part is again like the distribution, like getting awareness of it. You almost need some kind of like um guerrilla marketing campaign, to like get people to use something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
You have to figure out the other ways of making money around it that are less easy to disrupt using AI.
mhm,
So that's if software is free, there's lots of other stuff that is still not free and is not like trending towards zero
mhm,
anytime soon.
mhm.
So yeah, those are maybe the types of things that you would anchor onto. And yeah, there's I've seen examples of this in different industries where they're saying we're going to be the ERP. We're going to be able to see, for example, the cash flow of this business and the inventory that this business has, and then we can lend. We can give them loans against that
Mhm, mhm, mhm,
because
mhm,
we have such insight into the
mhm,
business.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, that's true. That I think there are a lot of things are shaped like that where it ends up being a data play, where you become a data aggregator.
Yeah,
And I
this
think like I threw the Paxel thing in the chat GPT. I was like, I'm pissed about this. Like, what do you think? And it basically its conclusion was like, yeah, like YC is no longer like that much in like the like startup incubation business. They're really more in like the information gathering business at this point. This is just like a manifestation of that. And I mean, they're explicit about it. I mean, the Gbrain, is like posting about it every day. It's literally saying we have more context than anyone. It's the most valuable thing, right? And it's yeah.
they have more context on like startup ideas.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of I think the the unsaid thing, right? When you're constantly like flexing about how your Gbrain has 100,000 records about every company and so forth. And
Oh, the
every person.
internal Y Combinator G brain.
Sure. Why I don't know how they structure it, right? You said maybe they have like a open sort of support agent, but I guess, I would
Right.
assume Gary's and the different LPs there have their own private ones too, where they're, thinking independently, you know.
Yeah, I think YC, the main thing that they said in the interview is that or one of their Lightcomb podcasts was that they've always used their own software and they've
Yeah.
always used a single database to store
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
And now they're just taking that to the next level
Yeah. Yeah.
where every meeting is recorded and or transcribed and is saved and shared
Yeah.
and
Yeah, no,
anybody
I
can
think it's
ask.
like awesome. Like there's nothing wrong with
Yeah,
it. I think it's cool.
that's how every business
Yeah.
should be
Yeah.
run.
Yeah.
The AI is kind of at the heart
Yeah. Yeah.
of everything, thinking on behalf of the company and keeping the company operations going.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's that, and I think it sounds like YC is just trying to model that themselves. If
Yeah.
they
It
believe that
makes
that's
sense.
where the
Yeah.
everything's going to go, then they should start using that
Yeah.
internally themselves.
Exactly. Yeah, no, and I don't fault them for that. I think that's exactly right.
Oh,
But yeah, I just say interesting that like even that like in every business you see this happening. Like yeah, I think that's a natural conclusion for a lot of these things. Okay, we can provide a cheap um CRUD app to these companies that probably has much better ergonomics than the one from the 90s that's evolved over
yeah.
time.
Yeah, you're taking it from 2016 to 2026 at least.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And LMs are very good at copying, so like getting to feature parity is not difficult.
Yeah.
And
And then, but we should assume that like in 2027,
yeah,
getting to feature parity is going to be even
even
easier.
correct. Yeah,
And
correct.
so then
Yeah,
then
Yeah,
you're just like, okay, cost of software is very low.
right,
You have to figure out
right,
other means of
right.
of uh being of value to your
Yeah.
customers.
And that typically is some kind of data flywheel. And that was kind of a perspective I had at Blue Shift too. Because there we built like an agent, like a native agent inside of Blue Shift. And there's a lot of excitement about it, and it's really powerful. Because we could build it like hand in glove to the system there. And so all the prompts, all the tools can really be aligned to work really well. And you can do very, very rigorous evals and study the usage patterns. So you have a data flywheel to keep making that agent better. So I know I always talk about all the stuff smooth in ChatGPT. The other side is definitely also true that if you can own the threads and the conversations, that is a really powerful flywheel because you see the whole um, workflow that is bespoke to that person comprehensively. That whole thread basically captures everything. The more agentic it is, the more comprehensively you actually understand their workflow. They're not like talking here and then clicking over there and that's clipped out. No, the whole thing is just like in there.
Yeah.
And so that's really, really powerful. You can every day like basically pull down your chat logs and like churn on that and learn from it and push features based on that or improvements or tweaks
Right.
to prompts, etc. And it's really,
Figure
really
out what can be
powerful.
automated.
Yeah, so I think the data flywheel there is like really exceptionally good. And it's the reason why you still need to build your own agent because otherwise you actually miss that those threads because if you're just the pure MCP layer, then you may not understand the usage patterns of your users that well because there's all you see is like API requests coming in and out and you don't see the context around them. So I think like you have to bite the bullet and have first party like agentic harnesses probably unless the providers open up some kind of like session sharing gateway, which maybe they will, but that's really complicated because then it's hard to separate the context, which is all meshed together, and it being meshed together is often the value. So like maybe if you had like in Codex and Cloud, they both have like projects. Maybe eventually you can have a project and be like, yeah, I have like a bidirectional data sharing with like Blue Shift. They can read the chat logs. We also get information back, and it helps like both sides. Like I think that would be really powerful and really good, something like that. But that doesn't exist right now. Um, so anyways, data flywheels really matter. Um, and yeah, I think that most of these ideas do trend towards that business shape where, okay, the only thing left is your data flywheel. And that's really powerful. And yeah, so, and that could ironically commoditize the cost of software even more because it's treated as a loss leader for initializing a flywheel. So yeah, it's tough. So if you're not thinking of it in that data flywheel, but your competitor is, then you're even more screwed because they're like treating it as a loss leader. They're like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's fine. We spend millions of dollars on this because we're getting that, which is going to make it sticky for people and make the product better. Yeah.
Well, it's an exciting opportunity to take every industry from 2016 to 2026. Like Scott was asking, how many people are there in the world that are have the ability to do this?
Mhm.
To I don't know, rebuild software from scratch. And that's an interesting question to think about of
Mhm.
how many people have the capability and would potentially do it.
Mhm. Mhm.
What's that number?
Mhm.
Even in like just the US.
It's probably less than the amount of opportunities out there. That is, I think, was my base calculation. And like I it's really crazy, but I'm gonna quit because I believe this just rationally to be true. Basically
Oh.
that, right? Is like yeah, yeah.
I guess the question is how long is that going to be true? Like, will there be a so it's something like there's a million opportunities right now and only
Mhm.
200,000 people, or
Mhm.
there's um
Mhm.
I don't know, a million opportunities and 800,000 people.
Mhm. I don't know. And I think like if we keep our heads on straight, the market will tell us eventually, we'll like learn the answer to this. At least one little markets are always subjective from your like perspective. My view into the market is different from yours, is different
Yeah.
from Jeff Bezos's view or whatever, right? They're just like vantage points and things are subjective, but like yeah. Um I don't know. I think that there's no like answer to that because like I don't know, any of us could invent something new and novel and just like the whole market changes in a way that's not you're not just like rebuilding. I mean, I think even taking these like horrible like cobbled together suites that a lot of these services businesses are using and just making it like a nice Rails app with like a nice responsive design and like it just really fast, loads on mobile, can do like multimodal image analysis, just like bait. This is child's play. It's easy to do now. Um, if like you've done it a lot, and that would be like a big UX win. But there's also like still like lots of little things, little edge cases that old crufty software has like solved over all those years, you know?
Yeah.
And that's their data flywheel, right? They like they have a captured audience there because they've just solved all those annoying little things. And even like so I would imagine like if like let's say I built like we built Pudding Wagon or what is it what's your working leader right now?
Oh, I like the other one you came up with, Johnny
Johnny
Ops.
Ops. Johnny Ops. Yeah, Johnny Ops
Yeah.
is good. We do Johnny Ops, and we build like a pretty slick like product. I would imagine that when we put it in Scott's hands, there's gonna be a bunch of stuff where he's like, well, like that's not like going from this state to that state like actually entails like this thing, and like that's not modeled here. And of course, we can evolve it quickly, but there's a decent amount of work there, of like working through those things that like you're probably not going to discover just in like an auto R&D loop, with an LM. Although you can get like really good bones on it. So that's why I was like the bones thing was like, okay, from first principles, let's get some bones on it, scaffold something out that's actually tangible that like Scott can play around with. And the idea isn't like, hey, we've solved it for you. The idea is like, okay, we've got like a little thingy that you can now like we can it's designed to evolve as fast as possible to like solve all the like burning problems that it of course will have
Yeah.
um and just approach it that way. um yeah, so I don't know, like I think because things are competitive, like every indie builder will probably be like leveling up like this, and even like the big software companies, even though they're so encumbered, they will inevitably get like more efficient too. So the pressure will come from everywhere, but also maybe there's a Jevons paradox where people's expectations of software go way up, you know? And so I don't know. I guess like the hiring trends don't show like software engineers actually going unemployed. I guess it's even like apparently the few like, posts I've seen, it's like almost trending the other way. Like the job market's pretty good.
Yeah.
Um, so, I think yeah, it's not necessarily one or the other.
I hope that the National Design Studio, who I think is being run by one of the co-founders of, I'm blanking on his name, one of the co-founders of Airbnb,
Okay.
they're meant to rework all of the, I don't know if it's all of them, but lots of the government agencies.
Hmm.
Like, what a great
Okay.
team. What a great team to be on.
Hmm.
Like all of the legacy software that the US government uses and that
Yeah.
is exposed to taxpayers, exposed to all the
Oh,
citizens,
oh my gosh.
have
Just,
a like a really good team who's
yeah.
who's just gonna, their whole mission is just make all
Yeah.
this
Can you
really, really
guys
good.
please fix the like visa software for the Hong Kong like consulate embassy thing. It's insane. It's
That's a Hong Kong
insane.
thing, right?
Dude, no, it's a US site. And it's like insane. Like you literally it's like 5 minutes of load time between like every screen, and a lot of times it'll like log you out. And it's like it literally took my wife and I like maybe 3 to 4 hours to like book an appointment. It was like it was the most we just keep looking at you and started like laughing. We're like, this is so crazy.
Yeah.
It's booking an appointment and like filling out a few like fields. It was like it was unimaginably bad. Um,
I've been trying to
bar as
get
well.
a Italian passport. It's my grandfather's Italian, and I it's really difficult to get an appointment. The website to get an appointment goes extremely slow.
Yeah.
So every Wednesday, the new appointments are released every Wednesday at midnight Italy time, which is 5 p.m. here.
Mhm.
And so at 5 p.m. every Wednesday for like almost 2 years, I would get in and try to get it to load so I could get a spot.
Yes. It's
I
by
never got
design,
one.
maybe. I don't know.
I've never gotten one. And in that time, the rules changed so that I no longer would be eligible.
Mhm, mhm.
And so evidently there's a lawsuit or somebody sued
Oh, good.
some court, sued some government agency to say
Mhm.
the rules changed, but it's unfair to us because the software is so bad,
Yeah.
nobody was able to actually apply.
Yeah.
And so if that, I think that they won, and it could mean that
Mm.
uh, people who can prove that they've been trying to get an appointment for
Mm.
years could be able to still go through with the process.
Well,
So
we have testimony right here.
yeah.
June
Uh,
6th, I'm a witness to it.
yeah.
Um, that's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, it's like maybe it's like by
There's so much
design,
bad.
It's like bad on purpose. It's a digital fence. It's like we mean like, it's like
Yeah, there's so much bad software in the world. That's if you ask my wife, that I'm constantly like, oh, this is a bad software thing. This is nothing else but like the person or the group who designed this did not care about it enough or didn't have the budget
Mhm.
to care about it enough.
Yeah, that's really interesting. And like I think it's kind of like one thing about human nature is like we're so adaptable that like most businesses they just adapt to it and you get used to it and you just
Definitely.
think that that is
Definitely.
normal.
Yeah. You start, well, I figured out how to do it. You click this, click this, click this. Or every time it takes a really long time to load, I just know that that's my time to take a break and I stretch. And so they just like justify it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, it's like you have to kind of like uncover that. And I think that's where, I saw a tweet the other day. It's like I know one startup that's like spending all their time talking to customers. I know another one that's like spending all their time like heads down like coding with like Claude and Codex, Like guess which one's gonna do well, you know? I was like
Oh, which one? The one talking.
well, in my heart, I'm thinking, yeah, probably the ones talking to the customers.
Mhm.
Because that's the part that's
That one didn't seem like an either or though. It
exactly
does seem like
exactly.
you can
Well,
talk to your customers
I,
and then just
of
feed it
course.
into Claude. But I do get that. I
No,
get it.
exactly. It's a trick question. Both, all of the above. Yeah.
Yeah,
At
do
the same
both.
time,
You
ideally.
must do both.
Like screen share with them in your Claude session while you're talking to them and just
Yeah,
evolve it right in front of them.
totally. I had all these questions for Scott that Claude had prepared,
Mhm,
and I was thinking I could just import all these questions into like a voice AI
mhm.
and send it to Scott, and Scott could actually just reply
Yeah.
with his voice and just try and transcribe everything.
Talk to the factory. Maybe I need to add that.
Hmm.
That's kind of nice. Yeah, it just like interviews you and you're just like
Yeah,
chilling out on
that's
your
the
couch, just
totally.
talking about your problems. Yeah, dude.
That's the way to like have a boot sequence in any of these things where
Some onboarding. Yeah.
there's kind of a harness to be made.
Mm,
You need
I
to
like that.
like
Hmm.
I have a have a project like this that actually it's basically before everybody started making like software to run your entire company, all of
Mhm.
the Kanban boards and everything.
I hate that so
I was talking about it with my friend Charles, and he sent me some sketches that he had drawn, and then I gave those to Claude,
much.
and we like iterated on an interface
Yep.
for a new business. Like if you're creating a business from scratch.
Yeah.
Mm, anyway, I'll show it to you offline.
I'm allergic to Kanban boards. I'm not, yeah. I,
Yeah, you don't even need to use linear anymore because there's
to
no
me,
backlog.
it,
You just
well, not,
send it all to Claude.
there's a backlog, but I've always had that. Like, I don't like note taking that much and stuff. But
Mm.
like, to me, it's just like an extra abstraction of what's already like in my head. So it just feels like paper shuffling. It feels like bureaucracy to me, where it's like this isn't adding value to me at all. It's just like I'm just duplicating something somewhere else that then I'm gonna have to clean it up when I'm done. It's just like creating stale information. It's-
Yeah. Well, but does it assumes that you have everything in your head and that nobody else needs
yeah,
to see
there's no
it.
right answer. I think we have unique workflows, and I think both can be powerful. It's just not how I work.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think most people are not like that. So I know I'm like weird like that. Um, but yeah.
Definitely helps me to fill up a backlog.
Mhm.
And whenever I'm walking and something strikes me, I'm like, okay, add that to
Mhm.
the backlog.
Mhm.
Because I'm not going to remember it later.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be able to get back to it because I won't have the same set of thoughts booted into my head.
Mhm.
And so I want to capture when, something strikes because
Yeah.
maybe I have like a certain combination of neurons are active and it
Yeah.
allowed me to go to this new spot. So you need to capture that. And by writing even like one sentence, it makes it a lot easier to go back
Mhm. Mhm.
to
Yeah,
to that context that your brain was in.
I was reading this thing that like when you are typing, that it's only like activating like a small part of your brain, and then when you're doing like physical handwriting, it's like your whole brain.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, right. Because our hands are like the part of our brain that controls our hands is so large.
oh, okay. Mhm.
I think that's what you're talking about. Like
I
there's a
didn't
giant
look
part of our
into it that
brain.
much more, except like, huh, maybe I should be writing stuff by hand more. That
Yeah.
sounds good, that's
Yeah.
true. Like I feel like the people in like the 1900s were just like so legit. Like when they write, like their clarity of thought is like really good, because like it's like work to write and they're just always doing it. And for us, like talk is kind of cheap. We can just talk and it's like
Yeah.
now digitized, it's efficient, but
It's
like
especially cheap now when you can ramble to
actually
anybody, ramble
that's
to Claude, and then it cleans it up.
no, but now I wonder, how does it compare to talking compared to typing? Because I don't type at all anymore. Like
Yeah.
uh pretty much. Like
Yeah.
um
Try not to.
yeah.
At least on it's for sure for anything long. If it's a sentence, I can handle typing it, but otherwise, why would I ever type?
Yeah. Well, cool. I think I'm gonna just kind of do some housekeeping here today. Take it a little bit easier. Do some
Sounds good.
stretching before I'm like stiff tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, definitely.
tomorrow also, I'll be going to a barbecue in the afternoon. So if you want to do the call a little bit earlier, might
Let's do
work.
it. Let's do it.
Let me cancel this recording here.